All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Business here on CentralValleyTalk.com. I'm Mike Scott, so glad you're able to join us today. And we have a number of interesting topics today, starting with education. And look who's with me. This is Lori Morton with the State Center Consortium, which I think of education more than business, but there is a business tie here, correct?
Yes, we're gonna get to that. State Center Consortium is actually a grant-funded organization, and we receive funding from the Community College Chancellor's Office. We're underneath the umbrella of State Center Community College District.
Okay.
But what we do really is collaborate with K-12 school districts, our partners at the Community College District, and higher education institutions to support teachers, administrators, counselors, and students in career technical education programs. Now, career technical education, which is more commonly known as CTE. CTE helps train students to be prepared for a variety of different industry areas. So one of the objectives of some of the grants that we have is to try to build partnerships with local business and industry representatives in our community,
Well,
so
that's
that
always
we can.
important, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what we've done is we have brought some of our partners together, and we are hosting a conference on February 4th, next month, at the Clovis Veterans Memorial District building. And what we're doing is we're trying to encourage any local businesses that want to get involved in some of these educational programs. Like we have a variety of CTE programs across our area, like welding, automotive, business classes, everything from culinary to health careers. And so we are encouraging businesses to attend the conference so they can learn how they can partner and hopefully help bridge the gap between what business and industry needs and how we're training our students for the workforce. So that's one of the goals of the conference. We're having an excellent main keynote speaker that morning, Michael Bizdak. He's coming out from Johnson & Johnson.
Not bad, huh? Johnson & Johnson.
Not bad. And Johnson & Johnson, about 20 years ago, developed a program they call Bridge to Employment. And basically what they're doing is placing students, high school and community college students, in positions, internships and mentoring positions at these different various Johnson & Johnson health companies that they have across the nation. And so he's going to come and share how they developed that program and how it's been successful and how it's impacted the lives of students all over the United States. So we're excited to hear from him. And what we're also doing is, like I said, it's a great opportunity to learn about the different opportunities businesses have to tie in with career technical education. One of those being the new Employer and Education Engagement Network. And that is a network that's being established by the consortium through some of our grants because of these partnerships that are beginning to be established. And so what we're trying to do is encourage them to join the network so that we can help connect them with educational programs that are relevant to their industry. So if there is a manufacturing company that is interested in having some students come and intern at their facility because they may need to hire someone in the next couple years, it would benefit not only the business but the students and everyone involved, really. So that's what we're trying to do, is help bridge industry to education and benefit all those involved. So those are some of the things we're doing at the conference. And like I said, we're trying to encourage educational leaders, but also definitely the businesses to be there so we can.
You mentioned the gentleman from Johnson & Johnson
Yes.
who's going to be here. Does Johnson & Johnson have any plants or anything here in the valley that
Not
you know
in the
of?
valley,
No?
unfortunately. There, I think there's a couple in the Bay Area and one or two down south. But there's not a Bridge to Employment program here in the Central Valley. And that's why we're trying to help facilitate that network of business and educational partnerships here. So it wouldn't be exactly like what they're doing. And of course, their program is very specific to the health career field because that's what Johnson & Johnson specializes in. Our network here is not specific to any one industry area. The state of California has segmented the industry sectors into 15 areas. And so the Department of Ed where health, science, and medical technology is one of those industry sectors, but there are many, many of those. And of course, healthcare is a huge industry here in our valley, as well as manufacturing and agriculture. Those are huge areas where we need students to be well trained, and we want to encourage those businesses to communicate with our educational programs so that we're making sure we're addressing their needs and training students appropriately. So.
Gotcha. All right, I see you have a second speaker.
I do. So it's a half-day conference. We're starting in the morning with Mr. Bizdak from Johnson & Johnson. We have a couple breakout sessions on all kinds of things like, career technical education today, what that looks like since it's changed over the years.
Okay.
Some legislation and information regarding CTE, how to partner, and then what we're going to do at the end of the conference is a lunch, and we're going to have a keynote speaker at lunch, and that is Chris Rosander, who is a local guy who credits his successes in the aeronautics industry to being involved in career technical education. And so he was recently inducted into the International Space Hall of Fame.
Wow.
And
And he was from Fresno.
And he's from Fresno. And so he's now the International Program Manager for the Raise and Administrative Committee, but he's had a lot of jobs along the way, worked with NASA and the White House for many years, and has a lot of great experiences to show for it. But he credits his involvement in career tech ed to spurring his interests and making him want to go into that career field. So we're excited to have him come in and talk again to the businesses and the educators about how important it is to offer these types of programs to students.
I'm guessing he probably still has family ties here. And
I think so. As a matter of fact, his brother, Brett Rosander, is a teacher over at CART, the Center for
See?
Advanced Research and Technology in Clovis. And he teaches marketing out there. And so they're obviously a family of CTE. So
yeah. Now, CART is a pretty amazing operation. Do you guys partner with them on a lot of
CART
things?
is one of our partners.
It is?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. Their principal, Rick, is part of our advisory committee, and our advisory committee for the consortium is made up of, like I said, very many different K-12 districts. We have, I think, 17 high school districts, or K-12 districts represented, and among those districts, over 20 high schools represented. And then we have several higher education partners in our community college district, as well as community organizations like Junior Achievement, the Fresno Chamber of Commerce. And then I'm also actively involved in the Fresno Compact and the Chamber's Business and Education Committee. So I try to make sure that we are continuously building those relationships and linking into those other organizations. So we're doing what we need to do to stay on top of things and connect the dots. So.
All right. Run through all the information again on the
Okay, so
conference you have coming up.
So the conference for building business and educational partnerships is going to be Tuesday, February 4th at the Clovis Veterans Memorial District building, which is downtown Clovis area. And there is a small registration fee, $45, but that covers your breakfast, lunch, and all kinds of great information. And we encourage you to go to our website at www.statecenter.com to get the information and register if you'd like to be there and you'd like to learn more about career technical education and how you can, as a business, be involved in these programs and hopefully provide some work-based learning experiences for students. So
Beyond this conference, anything else coming up later in the year?
you know, what we're hoping is that this conference will be a launching pad for that E3 network I was talking about, the Employer and Educator Engagement Network. And what we're hoping is that after attending the conference, that we'll have some newly motivated businesses to want to participate, and through that network, start making these connections, start actually placing students in some internships or job shadowing, and helping just kind of grow some of those partnerships locally. So that's really what we're trying to do thus far. But we encourage everyone watching to visit our website and stay up to date. We have a lot of events going on that really center around the grant funding that we get, professional development for teachers and things like that. But we're always trying to continue to make these connections. And maybe next year we will have another conference. I don't know. February is CTE month. It's National CTE month in February. So it tied in perfectly. But what we're hoping is that we can continue this collaboration. For sure.
Excellent. All right, Lori Morton, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much
you
for
being
having
here
me.
today.
Okay.
Lori Morton from the State Center Consortium. And again, the big conference she's been talking about coming up Tuesday, February the 4th in Clovis. And we'll be back with more on CentralValleyTalk.com.